Hey, I'm Mindy Kinnis. This is the Daily Rage. The market's just closed for the week, so let's take a look at what happened and see if we can set some new targets for going into next week. This that we're looking at here is the Dow futures on a daily time frame, and I have been talking about these turning line and standard lines on these indexes, and you can see that we did rise above that turning line and then just closed ever so slightly above it. But hey, that counts. So next target up, we are going to call it 46,787-ish. If we move on to the NASDAQ, you can see this one didn't even hit its ATR today. That is a pretty tiny little range. That's called an inside day when the whole of the range of today is inside the whole range of yesterday's price action. So that's, it was like tired from the week, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, next target up is going to be 24,798 to the high side. As for the Russell, this one is still stuck inside this turning line, standard line business, but we did have a pretty solid day. In other words, like mostly up, a little bit of indecision on the downside, but like pretty solid. So let's just use 24.58 as our next target up. If it even sneezes next week, it should be able to hit that no problemo. All right, this one is the S&P. We got almost to yesterday's high, couldn't quite hit it, but still looking good on the recovery side. So let's go for 67.29 next week. If you want to see something that was really kicking it though, check out these pigs. In other words, lean hogs. This is just amazing because yesterday was a whole lot of indecision. This is just a spinning top type candle, did close below that turning line. And then today, holy cow, gap up situation and just pushed higher from there, still looking real solid. So next target up 91.525-ish, let's just say. The other meats weren't looking so great. This one is live cattle. And as you can see, like while it had a little teensy bit of a run, just 3 days, it then took 3 days to just bust that back down. And today was really not much to speak of. It's just a spinning top. In other words, a lot of indecision and just a tiny little body of that candle, but a whole lot of wick. So if this whole little support consolidation situation can hold, I would be looking for it to go back higher around 236.2, let's call it. As for feeder cattle, it looks very similar. In other words, popped up here, sold off for 3 days, made a bit of recovery on a Friday. That's also very common to see. That is like after the last few days of selling, today was a reversal going into the weekend. To wrap this up, let's take a look at gold and see what it's got going on. Still looks really, really solid. I mean, it's had just a heck of a run with like a 1 day pullback here, a 1 day pullback here. This one only lasted for 2 days. And while it did flip that parabolic SAR and drop down below that turning line, it course corrected within a day. So like no problem. And then shot up even higher with some pretty decent sized green candles. A decent sized pullback here, but look, we didn't even make it down to that turning line. Yesterday was indecisive, and then today just really solid again. So I would be looking up here at these highs around 38.24 going into next week. Speaking of next week, you're not going to want to miss this sale. The Morning Method course is on sale for the next 4 days, 8 hours, and 15 minutes from this recording. What that means is that you can save $1,000 off the regular course price. In addition, you can watch the whole course this weekend because you get immediate access. So you can learn all this stuff over the next couple days, then be ready to go for the live trading room that starts October 1st. That's this coming Wednesday, and you'll be able to see it in action where Vicky will call out her trade. You can follow her lead, place the trades yourself in your own account, and see if you can get some of the results that her students have gotten. Now, her students have been able to pass trader funding evaluations. Awesome. Her students have been able to pay for the entire course in one trade. Extra awesome. And I did get a question emailed to me today that said, well, do we have to use Apex Trader funding to do this? And not at all. This is based on one market, which is the S&P futures. So if you have a platform where you can trade the S&P futures, whether that's trader funding, whether that's your own account, it does not matter. But that's the market on which Vicky is going to teach you how to use this system. Now, she does go into detail detail about how it can be used for other things, the NASDAQ, the Dow, etc. But what she has found is that it works best, at least for her. So I'd recommend following her lead on that one. It's also based on one time frame. So there's no question of like, well, what are we doing and when are we doing it? It's really, really simple. This is the best thing about this thing is like you legit can simplify your trading. There is one setup to learn. It's not complicated. There's not 46 different steps you need to know. It's one simple 1, 2, 3 move, and it is based on one time of day. She trades around the open. So once that's done, that's done. You can get on to the other things in your life. So if you want to check that out, just drop your email address here. Like I said, it's on sale for the next 4 days and 8 hours. Then the live trading room starts Wednesday, October 1st. This is at lucra.com/Vicky, or there's a link down below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. Drop your email address here and you'll get the video with all of the details. Have an awesome weekend. I'm Mindy Kinnis. Thanks so much for watching.